What's going on, everybody? It's your host, Snooze, here. I'm with my boy, Danny P, on the ones and twos. And, of course, we have Brainiac J-Fam in the back as well. And, as always, I'm here with my man, Hype Man Vic. Hype Man, tell me how you're doing today.
Doing good, doing good. I'm a little under the weather. So today we are having a hot toddy, whiskey hot toddy, soothing the throat, relax. And it's really good today with some Heaven Hill bottle and bond, in case you're wondering.
There's a lot of different ways that I love you, but with the relaxed throat is one of my favorites personally. So, I'm pretty excited today that we have a lot going on. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, but we're going to start off with the match that just happened. And did you watch it, by the way, USA versus Panama?
No, I was doing some yard work, so
that's
tough for you guys.
Frustrating match.
I was doing yard work.
Yeah, it sucked. I don't know if it's very apparent yet from all the tweets and things you see, but watching Copa America is very different than the Euros. It's like a fight every single time. And anyway, tough game for the U.S., but we'll come back. We'll beat Uruguay. We'll go on to the round of 16 or whatever it's called. That sucked. But what didn't suck is the match day 3 for Euros, because there was a lot of really, really good games, a lot of interesting groups, things that happened. But there are a lot of things that were underwhelming as well. Before we jump into that too, I have a note here. I want to discuss one last thing. Austin FC, they're not doing too good right now, but there's a lot of signings coming in.
We just won without Sebastian Reusi.
Winning doesn't mean that you're doing
on the road. It's something we don't do very well.
I agree. I agree.
It's a very shiny spot in a dark alleyway of our season so far. So,
yeah, that's all I'm saying is that even though they haven't been too great, a lot of signings coming in. So maybe just maybe they'll make a deep run in the Leagues Cup. And anyway, it is an Austin FC pod. This is a Euro 2024 pod at the moment. So let's get it started. We're going to cover match day 3, and then we'll run into a preview of the round of 16. So first, we're going to recap Group A and match day 3, and then also a recap of how this all played out. So first, we have Germany versus Switzerland. They played at Deutsche Bank Park in Frankfurt, and this game started off with Germany getting a disallowed goal, and then Switzerland getting a goal through Ndoye in the 28th minute, and it really felt like Germany were about to finish second in the group. After all that talk, we'll get into Switzerland in a little bit, but they were one shot away from finishing second in that group. But 31-year-old Füllkrug, he's been the hero for Germany this whole tournament, and he's the hero again. He gets a late winner or late goal in 90+2 to tie it up. And I say winner, but it's because they won the group, not because they won this game. It was a 1-1 draw in this game. But some notes real quick. Jonathan Tah, he got booked, which means he's missing the round of 16, which that's been a big deal in this tournament that they don't reset after the group stage. So, one of the starting center backs is going to be out due to yellows. And then also Rudiger was injured in the game, so he might be out as well. And as good as Germany is, I don't know if they're going to be good without both of their starting center backs. And then I think the only last note I have on this one is that I read an article how the Swiss coaches, three of their laptops were stolen from their hotel before the match. So if you see or if you heard anything, please tell the law enforcement down there in Germany, because that's pretty messed up. So Vic, did you get a chance to watch this one?
I didn't. This one, it's been a busy week at work, and unfortunately I do have to do some work every now and then, so wasn't able to watch this. I actually wasn't able to watch probably 3 or 4 of the matches, unfortunately. So
it's all good.
Did go through the highlights.
I would just like to call out, I want to call out too, you said you were sick earlier, and this is the first time I see this guy all the time. This is the first time I'm hearing it right before we go on air, so it's like I think he's playing it up, honestly.
Maybe I just wanted a hot toddy, who knows.
Who cares? Hot toddies are good. Okay, fine. Well, moving on to Scotland versus Hungary. They played in Stuttgart, and this one played out. I don't want to say how we thought it would, but both teams very even matched. It was back and forth. It was actually a lot of fun to watch. Szoboszlai was obviously the best person on the pitch, but the end of the game was chaos because there was an injury we'll talk about here in a second, but it was a very lengthy stoppage time, 10 minutes, I believe. And in those 10 minutes, there had to have been at least 10 chances between the two teams. And it was really just who's going to get this in. And man, just when it looked like it was to be a 0-0 draw, 99 minutes, 30 seconds pass. Hungary get the ball in their own box, couple of passes. They're off and running. They end up getting a counterattack and get the ball in the back of the net. Hungary goes home with 3 points, breaking the hearts of my Hadi Kuz. And, oh, it sucked. I mean, I don't want to say sucked because, hooray for Hungary, but it just felt like the Scottish team was going to finally get out of this group, and then they go home empty-handed once again. And the injury that we were talking about, I think we were talking. Victor, you sent the picture, actually, right?
I think so. The one where he got punched.
It was like we watch a lot of UFC, so we're used to seeing dudes get lit up, right? And he just kind of goes stiff, and that's what happened in this one. And so I was like, come on, like they're making a big deal out of it, But actually, per The Athletic, Hungary's Barnabas Varga has been released from the hospital following his accidental collision with Scotland goalkeeper Angus Gunn. Can't get more Scottish than that name. That left the striker unconscious with multiple cheekbone fractures. And I read somewhere that he actually had to get those surgically repaired. So he got knocked the fuck out. It wasn't just a little tap on the chin. That was crazy.
Yeah, I remember seeing that collision, and you could see the keeper's hand go out to punch it, just clocks him right in the cheek, like full, and they're running at each other. It was pretty bad. I was like, oh, that's actually when I tuned in. Unfortunately,
I wonder if he's like 205 or something. We get him in the UFC. See how he does out there. But so in review, I think it all finished how we figured it would finish, with Germany topping it, and at this point they look like one of the favorites outside of Spain. Switzerland, look, I'm going to go ahead and say it. They were a couple minutes away from topping this group, so I've learned my lesson. I'm no longer going to doubt them in a major tournament. The Swiss, I thought they were going to be last in this group. I was drinking the Kool-Aid for Hungary, and didn't happen. Scotland, they were way worse than we expected. Hoped that they would pick up form, but they did not. And Hungary, they weren't the dark horse that we all thought they'd be, but they still looked like they were going to be through the round of 16, but they ended up not getting through. But they did show a little bit more life than I thought they would. It just kind of sucked that, the one win they got wasn't enough to get them through to the round of 16. Vic, did you want to talk about how your group ended? Because I know I think we had the same thing. We just had Scotland and Hungary flipped. Was that right?
Yeah, that was right.
Pretty sure.
I think we had the same people going through, but I thought Scotland could do a little bit better, and guess not though. They didn't look too good. Hungary only got one win, but they also lost twice. So I think Switzerland only got one win too, but those draws make a difference, and there they go.
Yeah, I had Scotland. I think I had Scotland third and Hungary was second, Switzerland last. So I got this one all messed up. So either way, let's move on down to Group B. Group B, we had Croatia versus Italy. It was another match, another late goal for against Croatia to break their hearts. In this one, Donnarumma was a beast. He was stopping everything that was coming his way. If you watched the game, you saw Modric took a pen, and it was blocked by Donnarumma. He does what he does, and then his heart was in his stomach. Like you can see there's a video that follows him around the entire time. And for 30 seconds, he's just like, man, like he can feel the weight of Croatia on his shoulders. He just let everyone down. And then not but 30, I think it was 33 seconds later, the ball comes back around and he ends up getting it in the net. It was a really crazy series to watch. And I'm sure your coworker that we've talked about this whole time didn't like to see that happen.
No. And Christian, in case you're watching, I was actually talking to him during the last 30 minutes of this. He had a one-on-one for the last 30 minutes of the game, so he was not allowed to watch it.
Perfect timing. Yeah, perfect.
And he could not see the game winner that happened, and he was dying inside. But I was messaging him like, "Oh my god, you seen this?" He's like, "No, I'm in a one-on-one. I'm trying not to make a face because they're on camera too."
Like had to act like he was actually working.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
To go into what Victor's talking about, Zakagny, 98th minute equalizer. virtually the last kick of the game. I mean,
It was. That was the last kick.
Yeah, like the whistle was blown right after that, breaking my Croatian people's hearts. Italy's first shot, that goal was Italy's first shot on target in the second half, and it was the last one of the game. And because they draw, Italy gets out of the group. Croatia goes home. Moving on to Spain versus Albania. Albania had their chances, but it really never felt like they were going to give Spain any trouble. And Spain, they just showed that they have quality all over the pitch. They had already booked their tickets through, so it kind of felt like they were taking a bit of their foot off the pedal, but didn't matter. They won this 1-0, and we're moving on. And in review, I think I had Croatia. It was Spain, Croatia, Italy, Albania. And Spain, 3 games, 3 wins, playing really good. To me, I think France might have been, well, we know England, the money was on them, but I think everybody pretty much thought France was going to be the main favorite. And at this point, it's looking like Spain is probably the best team in the Euros. Italy, they haven't looked good, but they're still moving on. And, I'll let Vic talk about them here in a second. And then it ended up with Croatia. Honestly, 2 late heartbreakers stopped them from getting 6 points in this group and getting out. So it really sucks. In Albania, of course, it was fun having them here, but we're moving on to bigger and better things. Vic, you want to say anything for your boys over there in Italy?
Man, I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they're getting through. They should have lost. I don't think they should have any wins. But they just seem to do it. They're still underperforming, and all of their fans know that, but it sucks. Maybe because I'm a Luka Modric fan, so maybe it sucks a little bit more for me. But man, the whole tournament, watching them, it was just underwhelming. So, but we'll see how they do. They play. We'll get into who they play later, but we'll see how they do in this next round of 16, and see if they can keep the luck going.
Yeah, it is kind of weird because when you look at Italy, like they don't feel like a team that's about to make a deep run into the tournament. But on the flip side, neither do Croatia. So either one of those teams getting out of the group doesn't look too scary in the next round for whoever their opponent would be. It just sucks because Croatia, like I was saying, they ended up getting 2 draws whenever they had 2 games in the freaking bag. So that sucks. I can't say for my Croatian people how they feel exactly, but if I had to guess, I would probably say this doesn't feel good knowing that it's Modric's last tournament and that he's probably going to be done soon. But it's not because of him. He's the one who got them within the striking distance of getting 6 points anyways. So yeah. Anything else here before we move on, Vic?
Nope. I wish we could skip the next group in the snooze fest of Group C, but we're going to talk about
this one. We're going to talk about this one in depth. Not too much in depth because Denmark, Serbia, 0-0 draw. England, Slovenia, 0-0 draw. I'm not even going to, if you get 0-0 draws, I'm not talking about you too much. But we're going to talk about the group in review. And I got some really cool stats here for you guys. Ready? 1 win and 7 goals in this group, not just a team, the entire group. 1 win and 7 goals. Both are the fewest ever in Euro history. 7 goals was the joint lowest in history with one other group, and I think it was 2006, I believe. I didn't write it down, but yeah, there's only one other group that's ever had 7 goals throughout it. And this, if you're looking at the Group C, how it played out, the table, if you will, if there's a tweet that said, imagine if Serbia just would have gotten a goal against England and they would have drawn. This whole group would have been tied at, everyone would have had 3 draws. They would have had 2 goals for, 2 goals against, and all even points going into like the round of 16. It would have been insane. I think it would have gone to like yellow cards or something after that, but all because Serbia could not score a goal against England. England gets out of the group, and it ends up with England, Denmark, Slovenia, Serbia. England, they top the worst group in Euro history, and they didn't look good doing it. So not a lot to say. As we talked about in the breakdown for this group, they were going to be the team that most of the coverage is on because, no language barrier, stuff like that. And I have heard nothing but bad stuff, and like everybody's so unhappy with this team. A lot of people want the coach gone. They think Southgate's not using the team. I saw a tweet that was like, only Southgate could get the Bundesliga top scorer, the La Liga player of the tournament, and the Premier League young player of the league, like, and not do anything with them. So a lot of shit talking going on, and it really does suck. Anything to add to England there, Victor?
Not to England, but to the group as a whole. Like you said, 7 goals. This, who was it? Austria. Austria had 6 goals alone this year, so they're just one off in this entire group. And if you look at the actual like Group C like standings, one thing that sucks is that 3 of these teams are going through, even though there was nothing but ties for the last 2 games. And also, like, this is the worst. This was the worst one. This was the worst group, and 3 of them are going through.
It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to watch. So I don't know. It was a snooze fest. I'm trying not to doze off just talking about it right now, but hopefully around the 16 will show some more action. We'll see.
Might be the hot toddy, might be Group C. We'll never know. Not a lot more to talk about. Denmark gets second only because Slovenia got 1 more yellow card. So even how people are progressing is still boring. And Slovenia, they weren't supposed to get out. So even though they were in a disappointing group, but as far as how they're doing in the group, like, that's pretty cool for them. So I would say, if anything to talk about, I would say Slovenia getting out is pretty awesome because they weren't expected to. So if all the other teams disappointed, that's on them.
Not only that extra yellow card that got them in third saved them from playing Germany. So they play Portugal now instead, and Denmark plays Germany. So whoever got that last yellow card, good job on you. Man of the match.
Probably both going home, but definitely better to play Portugal at this point.
More like
okay. Well, I don't want to talk about this group anymore. Do you?
No, we can go on.
Okay, yeah, let's move on to Group D. We had Poland versus France, and both goals were penalties in this one. So we'll talk about that a little bit more in a second, at least from the France perspective. France were way too reliant on Mbappe. He was back for this match, missed match day 2 with that broken nose, but they were way too reliant on Mbappe to create and score. And it felt like if he wasn't going to do it, then nobody was. But this team is way too talented for that to be the case. Like, there's world-class players everywhere across the pitch, and yet they're still relying on him to do it. And yes, it's awesome to use him, but if he's like a crutch, it definitely isn't the way that they're going to go deep in this tournament. And the only thing I'll say about Poland is that Lewandowski, Louis we'll call him, he scored. So that means that he's only the 3rd player in Euro history to have scored in 4 different Euros. So that's cool.
Not to mention our producer, Danny P, absolutely hates his run-up. Absolutely hates it. He was talking shit about him the entire time. So that was pretty funny.
I missed that. Wait,
you didn't get those texts?
He hates the way that.
Yeah,
he hates the way that Louis runs to the ball.
Yeah, he was like his run up is stupid. He was just talking. Oh, was it John? Maybe it was John. Maybe it was John. My bad. One of the people in the back that you guys don't see. They were thinking about that and told us about it. My bad. That was John.
Yeah, they get pissed off with random stuff. Oh, it's J-Fan. Okay, yeah. J-Fan hates him. Well, we know how he feels about Polish people, so that's a joke. He doesn't have anything with him. So, okay, moving on. Netherlands and Austria. Netherlands. This game ended up being the game of the tournament for me, anyways. Beating the Georgia-Turkey game. It ends with Austria winning 3-2 against Netherlands. This had all types of goals. It had an own goal. It had a perfect Gakpo curler. We had a diving header. Violent dude just dove at it. We had a Depay karate kick goal. And then, of course, Sabitzer Stone Cold Killer. I don't know if this is his signature move or what, but yeah, it was really cool. Austria just look ridiculous right now, which is crazy. Did not expect to see that going into this tournament. And before this game, Netherlands had beaten Austria the last 7 times they played. So this was a big mental game going into it as well. And really both teams look good going into the round of 16. But I think we talked about it before, but Austria are actually living up to the dark horse label that they had for many tournaments prior. And this one, they didn't really have that hype going in. So I think that kind of helped them out. Yeah, pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, Austria looked good. Sorry, I don't know. I was going to cut in there.
Go ahead.
Austria looked good. Just watching them play and just the way they're up and down the field, they just kind of know where everybody's at all times. They're a team that's just super cohesive. And for them to, I don't know what their odds were to finish top of the group, but the fact that they finished on top with the Netherlands and France, amazing. And they deserve it the way they've been playing. They've been playing really good.
And that's a professional segue right there, because now let's talk about this group in review. Yeah, there's no spoilers here. Austria did win that group with 6 points over France, Netherlands, and Poland. And just like we were talking about, not only did they top the group, they did it in like a attacking fashion that actually looked really fun to watch. And a lot of these teams that you see in these Euros, they don't look like club soccer, right? It's different, right? Whenever you have a team that you're with all the time, you can play these ones and twos. You know what people are going to be. You get to practice with them a lot more. In the international stage, you get way less time with each other. So the fact that they're playing such a cohesive unit, good word there, is really fun to watch. They've been one of the best teams and one of the most fun teams to watch, which we didn't really think too much coming into this. So yeah, really good on them, or really good for them. Netherlands finished third, and they looked good. I think their attack, if it's not Gakpo, is kind of lacking. Depay got his karate kick goal this time around, but he had been missing a lot of chances before that. And France, man, I don't know what's going on with them. They got second in the group, which is crazy in and of itself, but then they only scored 2 goals this entire match, this entire Group D, like matching up against all these teams that we felt they were much better than. And one of those goals, so they scored 2. One of them was a freaking own goal. Yeah. So they really only scored 1 goal, and it was a penalty. So, man, it's just not looking good for them. I heard a lot of Didier, listen to this last name, Deschamps. Is that how you say that? Deschamps. But his style isn't typically to coach them to be a very attacking team. He's very built out from the defense up. But man, he is not getting the best out of the squad, and they do not look good right now. So if going into the next round, they get a strong opponent and they get knocked out, I don't want to say I wouldn't be surprised, but it's just the way they've been playing, they have to be different in the round of 16 or they're not going to get out. And Austria wins this group. Anything else I'm missing here, Vic? Anything else we need to go over?
No, just I want to see their number get called in the round of 16. Same with England, the same with Italy. So yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, we really need to see how they play out there, because if England and France, if they continue to disappoint, there's gonna be a lot of angry fans there. So, Okay, well, let's move along to Group E. We have Belgium versus Ukraine. That was a 0-0 draw. And again, we don't talk about 0-0 draws here, but I will say that the Belgian fans, they booed the players off the field, and Captain KDB, told the team not to cheer the traveling team. So if you watch soccer games afterwards, usually the players walk to, then clap the traveling fans, thanks for coming. But because they were getting booed, he actually told them don't do that. Just go straight down the tunnel. And then after in interviews was actually asking the crowd to get behind them in their round of 16 game. So, bold move there. I don't know how you do both of those.
Can't pick and choose there, Capitan.
Yeah, not good. Not good. Not a good look. And Belgium, just like France and England, underwhelmed and not looking too good going into the round of 16, although they did get there. So I guess you can't complain too much. That's the goal, is ultimately to get to the next round. Okay, now the next game in Group E was Romania versus Slovakia, which ended with a 1-1 draw. And this one was crazy. It was super heavy rain, downpouring. There's puddles all over the pitch. But the thing that I'll say that stood out the most was that the fans, Slovakia and Romania fans, it was awesome to see them in the stands, in the stadium, just cheering on their teams, pouring rain, didn't matter. It's one of those games where it just makes you want to be there. You want to be part of that atmosphere. In Romania, Slovakia, you just wouldn't think that that's how that would work when you think of the big soccer countries out there. But yeah, it was amazing to see. And I think they were saying before the game that both of these teams would get into the round of 16 with a draw. So there wasn't a whole lot for them to go out and really push themselves, but they did. Both teams kind of went after it. Slovakia got an early goal, and then, of course, Romania got a penalty. All of it happened in the first half. But either way, they didn't sit back and just pass the ball around. They actually went after it. And, kudos to them. Put on a show for their fans, and now they're both on to the round of 16.
Glad they could both go through, but this was the group I said, win and you're in, and not a single team won. They all tied at the end, or drew at the end.
Yeah. Well, it's different when it's like winning in, or hey, we can both not win and get in as well. So
that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool.
A little different than some U.S. sports we have.
Gentlemen's agreement there that they had.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. So Group E in review, I think we all had it going Belgium, Ukraine, Slovakia, Romania, and it was absolutely not that. Romania freaking won the group. That's crazy. Their form had been good coming into the tournament, but you didn't see them picking apart good teams. And not to say that in this group, Belgium, Slovakia, Ukraine were some of the best teams out there. Belgium was supposed to be, but either way, topping the group, like, kudos to them. Good on them. That's amazing. Belgium, like we said earlier, underwhelming. Like France and England, disappointment throughout the group stages. And what can you say? They didn't get it done. They did get second place, but that just means they'll have a harder run in towards that trophy. And Slovakia, they would have been the surprise of the tournament if it weren't for Romania freaking winning the group. But yeah, Slovakia is going through, and Ukraine sucks the way it ended for them. But yeah, they did not get it up.
But Austin FC will have their new signing earlier than if Ukraine went through the round of 16. So come on down.
There you go.
Svatok is his name. Alexander Svatok. Come on down, baby. Can't wait to have you here in Austin.
I'm sure. Exactly. Come from that decent weather over there in Germany and come to this 104-degree heat wave we have going on in ATX, baby. You're going to love it here.
Good news is if you come here in July, the rest of the year is just easy. So don't worry about it.
Oh, yeah. Like they say, New York, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It's like if you can make it in Texas, and I just mean like survive through the summer, then like you'll have a good time the rest of the year.
Yeah.
You'll be all right. Okay. Final group to review. Group F. We had Turkey versus Czechia. I'm saying it. Czech Republic. And this game was chippy. This game was dirty. They wanted to fight each other the whole match, and you can tell the ref lost control of this one super early. Some notes from that match. The red card in the 20th minute was the fastest in Euro history. And in this match, when I say it's chippy and dirty, there were 18 cards, which is the most in Euro history, 16 yellow cards and 2 red cards. So even after an early red card, though, against the Czech Republic, they actually look like the team that was more likely to win this game. They get the... Sorry, lost my train of thought there. They did get a goal, and then it ended up being a pretty close game all the way until the end because Turkey, they had an extra man the whole time. It kind of felt like they were just running the game out, like trying to get Czech tired. And in the end, they did. And 90+4, they are just, I mean, if you watch it play out, there's like 4 or 5 of them running directly at maybe 2 or 3 defenders, and they're all just standing in the box. They're so tired from freaking defending this whole time. And Tosin gets the ball, and there's maybe 4 other Turkish players around him, and he doesn't even look at him. He just puts it through. You think that he's going to ruin the game. 90+4, he gets it in there. Turkey ends up winning. Crazy game. After the game, they all were pushing, shoving. No punches were thrown, but didn't look and play out too pretty. But this was more of a Copa America match, if you ask me.
Yeah, it's more of
to fight each other for sure.
More of a Walmart visit opposed to a Target visit. But it was it was really chippy at the end. I saw the fighting, so I was like, "Oh, keep it on him, keep it on!" And there were pitch invaders the entire time too. Like people were running on the pitch. It was crazy. But they kept cutting away. I was like, "No, put it back. I want to see." This
wasn't Czech and Turkey. It was like Panama and Bolivia or something like that. The one thing I will say, because Turkey is going through due to that win there, that Yildiz and Güler played a lot in this game, and they were heating up. Like you could tell that they were two of the better players on that Turkish squad. So hopefully in the round of 16 they can do some damage there, and maybe they can make a run. Who knows? But it's always fun to watch. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for them going forward. The other match in this group was Georgia versus Portugal. And Cavaradona, he does it early, gets a goal in the second minute of this match and a counterattack, and he buries it, and it's 1-0. Now, of course, going into this game, Portugal knew that they had already gotten into the round of 16, so it's debatable as if, they were trying their hardest, whatever. But for Georgia, like, to get a second-minute goal against Portugal was just amazing to see. And then the boy that we've been talking about this whole time, my boy J-Fam in the back knows who I'm talking about. Our boy George Mikatse. He gets another penalty. I don't know if y'all know this, he is leading the Golden Boot right now. Our boy Georgie, he is that motherfucker. He's getting it. And yeah, I mean, how crazy is that? This tournament has so many different teams in there that we didn't think would get there. And the leading goal scorer, it's not Harry Kane, it's not Mbappe, it's freaking George Mikatse from Georgia. That's what you call an underdog right there. Gotta love it. And of course, Portugal are through, and this game didn't really mean much to them. So anything I'm missing on this one, Vic?
Nah, we knew what Portugal was going to do in this one. They weren't going to put their best foot forward. They were through already. Ronaldo had limited minutes. Georgia capitalized, and they look good for that part of it. So good on them.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll call out is that the Georgian fans in Gelsenkirchen, they were freaking going insane.
Yeah.
I heard the Georgian call for that second-minute goal that Kvaratskhelia got, and man, I mean, I didn't think that you can get better than the Latin American commentators, the Mexican commentators, goal. But these guys were into it because I just felt like it felt like they weren't expecting to get much out of this tournament, but to go and get a 2-0 win against Portugal and get into the round of 16, like, that's so cool. Like that's got to feel so good for those Georgian people. We were in Atlanta not too long ago, and I liked every part of it. So I can imagine how those Georgians are doing. I've made that joke every single time. Yeah. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's still good. You're gonna be a dad.
Hey, dad jokes. Yeah, dad jokes.
You got to keep practicing.
Anyway, Group F in review. Portugal rested players. They got beat, but they're going to be fine. Turkey, they limped into second place, and they were a man up for most of the match, and they still barely got into that round of 16. But like we said, the young kids are playing, so maybe they can make a run. Czech, it's crazy that they came in last place because Georgia go through to the round of 16 as one of the best third place teams, and man, did not see that coming. Can't wait to see how they play in the next round. And Vic, before we go into the round of 16, anything that we need to wrap up here?
Not much. It was a fun, good group stage. It was exciting for most of the groups. Let's say 5 out of the 6 of the groups, and just some good soccer. Good way to bring everybody around and keep the morale high at work by watching soccer. Had a couple of groups every now and then watching soccer with us, so it was pretty cool. But no, it was a good round, and round 16 coming up next. It's where it gets tough, competitive, and can't wait for it.
But because I'm an honorable man, and we all know that, I just want to call out that I did not get a single group correct. Like not a single group correct. So what do I know? Nothing apparently. And that's the beautiful part of this tournament. Anything can happen here. So, and no, you don't have to agree to that. Okay. Well, that about wraps up the Matchday 3 recap. And before we get out of here, let's go ahead and preview the round of 16 where the rubber meets the road. This is the knockout rounds. This is what it's all about. Once you get out of who cares what happened in the group stage? Once you're in the round of 16, this is where it really starts. So I think that's what France and England are hoping anyway. And with that said, let's go into the games chronologically. We have Saturday, June 29th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We have Switzerland versus Italy. Vic, tell us the money line for that.
Money line is outstanding. There's no favorite that I can see for this. Italy is a plus 140 and Switzerland is a plus 220. I don't think I've seen that except for like toss-ups where it's more like this one's 120 and the next one's 120.
Yeah, like a 50-50 kind of game.
That's weird. So they're both underdogs.
It's kind of weird because I don't want to say weird. It's going into the tournament, like Italy won this last time. Switzerland have a track record of getting out, but I think for most people, we said the word on the street was that we didn't think that they would be doing anything in this tournament. I had them fourth in their group, and they're not even really an underdog against Italy in the round of 16. That tells you how far we've come. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because it's really gonna come down to who's real right now. Like, is Italy's form really as bad as it's looked, or are they just saving it for the knockout rounds? Maybe I can almost guarantee that this game will go under. I think, it's 2.5 goals, and I would smash the under for that because Italy feel like they're not going to be trying to get out and get too many. They're probably going to win this game 1-0. And if I had to pick a winner, I would say Italy. I would probably put Italy on a 1-0 win. What do you think?
I don't know, man. Italy didn't even make the World Cup. They've looked not good this year. So I think I might have to take Switzerland just because they're not Italy. Basically, that's it.
You keep calling your friend like he's your friend. He's an Italian friend. I think you actually don't like the guy as well.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah,
probably.
We should make a bet on that since you think Italy's going to win. Do something.
Let's bet lunch.
Okay. That's way better because I was thinking loser has to pay for flights to Slovakia because we have to go to Slovakia.
Oh, God. We didn't even talk about that.
We'll get to that a little bit. We'll get to that a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. We'll wrap up the show with that. How about just lunch for now?
Lunch for now.
We're
Agreed.
Okay. Lunch bet. Shake. That's my left hand. Right hand here as a man. Anyway, I just feel like Italy are going to be a little bit stronger in the round of 16. I don't know why they haven't shown that, but I have a feeling that they're kind of like saving it, and they'll pull out a defensive masterclass and win 1-0. So, what we shall find out. Okay, let's move on to the next game. That is also Saturday, but at 2 p.m. the primetime game. And we have Germany versus Denmark. Now, this one is going to be interesting, but not because Denmark is really good because they were in that Group C, but it's going to be interesting because how bad do we think Germany is going to whoop that ass is the real question.
Well,
tell us the money line.
The sports books thinks it's going to be pretty bad. Well, they have Germany at a minus 165 favorite and Denmark at a plus 475 underdog. So, pretty wide odds there. By far not the biggest odds, worst odds in this round of 16. But, obviously a favorite is Germany, and they've earned it. They've looked amazing the entire tournament so far. So,
yeah, if you're in that Group C, like you don't deserve to be even close to this the money line for that. So Germany looked good. They the last game, they had a couple players in who were getting some minutes. They were already through to the round of 16, but they showed a little bit of mortality, and I don't think that Denmark are the team to kind of press on that again. I don't think they're going to really give them a run for their money there. I will put this at 2-0 Germany win, maybe 2-1, but either way, Germany's getting 2. Let's go 2-0 Germany win.
I can take that. That's a good bet right there.
You do that too?
I do that too, yeah.
Okay, so we have a 2-0 Germany, Denmark. So it's a good Saturday. I'll win lunch in the beginning of the day, and then we'll watch this game, join hands together in unison. And now we're moving on to Sunday. We have England and Slovakia, Sunday, June 30th at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And in this one, it's hard it's hard to say that England Vic, tell us the odds first before I go over there.
One of those worst odds I was talking about is this. England are a negative 250 favorite, minus 250 favorite, over Slovakia, who are a plus 725 underdog. So that's a huge gap. Not giving much not giving much faith in Slovakia, but it's hard to give faith in this England team too. They haven't shown that they were high and mighty like they should be either. So
exactly, and that's why I wanted you to say the odds first, because it just doesn't feel like people are taking what we saw through 3 games with England seriously. Like, it almost feels like what they did was just to get through the group, and they're saving everything for this. And that sounds so stupid, but the way they're playing, like, that's the only plausible explanation, because there's no reason why all these players should be this bad. And a lot of the talk has to do with tactics and Southgate getting it wrong. We talked about that a little earlier, but just kind of looking at it from a bird's eye view, they did their job. They won their group. They got out into the round of 16 as, a group winner. So they earned a weaker match in Slovakia, but Slovakia, they were hard to beat throughout all of the match day, the group matches too. So yeah, of course, I think England will win this, but if they win this, I'm going to say 1-0 England. I don't think it's going to be particularly dominant, just how things have looked. But yeah, I'm going 1-0 for England.
I think I'll take that one too. They might go 2-0 if they start putting it together, maybe even 3-0. But
if they put it together, they get 5-0.
Yeah, but nothing's shown that so far. So
exactly,
we'll see.
Yeah, we will see. Okay, that's the early match on Sunday. And then Sunday at 2:00, we have Spain versus the mighty Georgia. And Vic, just start off with the money line for this one.
Slovakia had the second worst odds, and Georgia have the worst odds so far. They are in plus 1350 on the money line, and España are minus 450 on this one. So not much faith in the Georgians here. And if you think they were going crazy in the last match, if they win this one, they might just burn the city down. Who knows? I have no idea.
Dude, I might just put $5 on it just to do it. Like, I'll lose $5, but if they win, holy crap. I don't see this one being particularly close. Spain, unlike France, Belgium, and England, have looked just ridiculous. All 3 matches, all 3 wins. So yeah, I'll probably go like 3-1, 3-0 for Spain.
Yeah, I don't think Georgia will score. I think it'll probably be 3-0, 2-0, or something like that. So,
oh, come on, Kvaradona, you got to give him something. Havica Kvarskelia, the coolest name in the tournament, outside of Mikatse. Oh, Mikatse! How could I forget the Golden Boot?
Yeah,
our boy Georgie. This is going to be a fun match. I don't think it's going to be particularly close, but maybe it'll be fun. Like the second half, if Spain's up 3, they'll just Georgia will open up and not give a fuck what happens, and they'll just try to get their own goals. So, okay, let's move right along to France versus Belgium. This is on Monday, July 1st at 11, the early game. Now, France versus Belgium. We talked about these 2 teams, 2 underwhelming teams at this tournament. Vic, tell us the odds.
We will check out this battle of underwhelmment with the odds on this one. France do have the odds to win at a minus 110, and Belgium is a plus 320 underdog. I think well-deserved underdog. I don't think Belgium are playing very good, and the shots they do get on goal when Romelu Lukaku gets loose just go straight to the keeper or just off to the side.
It's just offside.
Yeah.
Or it's just offside too. Yeah. This game on paper should be the best game of the round of 16, but I just don't really see it happening. I think that it's going to end up being like a 1-0 game, and I can see France. I don't see Belgium beating France. Let's just put it that way. So I'm going to put 1-0 for France, but it's just not going to be as exciting as it should be on paper.
Yeah, do they go with penalties if they tie in this round? They do, right? So I think they might.
Yeah, because there has to be a winner.
Yeah. I think none of these teams will win, and they'll go to penalties, and it might be 0-0. They'll go to penalties, and maybe just the keeper won't go the right way one time. And yeah,
I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I should have said that. Okay, well there you go. Okay, well let's move it along to the 2:00 game on Monday, and that is Portugal versus Slovenia. And Portugal, in my mind, I haven't seen the odds, but they should be a pretty heavy favorite. What do they say?
They are at a minus 250, and Slovenia is a plus 700 underdog. So third worst odds to win, I believe. Yeah, the third worst. And it kind of shows Portugal's been pretty good. Slovenia hasn't been terrible. They haven't been good either. But, that's going to be a fun one to watch, I think.
Yeah, minus 250. That's not as big as I was thinking. So anyway, I think Portugal will win this. I'm going to go with 2-0. I don't think Slovenia, even though Sesko, he's been playing pretty decent, he hasn't shown that he's going to be scoring a lot. And unless he gets a worldie, I don't think that they're really going to be that great. So yeah, I'll go Portugal 2-0 for here. Okay. Now moving on to the next game, we have Tuesday, July 2nd at 11 a.m. We have Romania and Netherlands. And this one, I think Netherlands will be pretty heavy favorite. Vic, what is it? What do the odds say?
Yeah, this is the fourth worst odds for Romania. Romania is a plus 675 underdog, and the Netherlands are a minus 225. So pretty good odds for them. I have them winning too. I'm going to go first this time. I'm going to say that the Netherlands win this one.
Oh, okay.
3-1. I think 3-1. I think something's going to go together. Yeah, I think something's going to fit with them, and maybe it's my Virgil van Dijk fanness coming through, but we'll see. I'm
actually, obviously Dragusin got my Spurs boy over there. I'm going to go. Let's go 2-1 because I feel like Romania, they'll get one, and they have a bit of a defense going back there. So I'm going to go 2-1 Netherlands. Not that I see Romania winning here, but yeah, 2-1 for Netherlands is how I'm going. So, okay. And the last game of the round of 16, honestly, probably my sneaky favorite. It's like, how we talk about cards, there's the headliner, but then there's like the people's headliner. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel about this one, Austria and Turkey. Sneaky, really good match. Both sides, Austria looking awesome, and Turkey has a lot of players that are coming out since the last few matches with Güler and Yildiz. So I'm curious, though. What are the odds for this one, Vic?
Yeah, Austria do have the odds to win this at a minus 110. Turkiye are underdogs by a plus 300. So
yes, Turkiye. I forgot. Turkiye, I'm sorry. Yeah. Not to be disrespectful. Turkiye.
Pretty close odds, I think. And it should be pretty fun. It should be one of those, like you said, people's championships going on in the undercard.
Well, you tell me. You go first again. Who do you have, or how do you have this match playing out?
I got this one. I'm going to go crazy here. We're going to say 4-4 and then go into penalties. And we'll have Turkey just miss one penalty.
Turkiye.
Turkiye.
You, sir.
I forgot my own rule. Yes. Turkiye. Yeah. Will
going through. Wow.
No. Opposite. Austria is going to make all five. Turkiye will miss one of them.
Oh, okay. I misheard you. I'm sorry.
My fault.
Yeah, I'm going to just go with a 2-1 Austria win. I think it's pretty simple, straightforward. I think Austria is a better team overall, but I think Turkey will get a goal. And yeah, I think that's how we'll play out. We'll have to come back and recap how this all plays out and do a preview of the quarterfinals. But before we get out of here, I just want to say I want to pick out one game, Vic, that we think, like, if you had to pick an upset to happen in this round, who would you think that would be? I would have picked Switzerland, by the way, until I realized that they have like virtually the same odds, so I can't pick that anymore. So I'm just curious, if you had to pick one team to upset in this round, who would you pick?
I think I would go with Slovakia. Just oddly enough, I think it would be probably the biggest headline. And England have looked flat in almost every second of every match. And I think Slovakia could just happen to get a really good piece of momentum during the game, score one early, and just not give it up the rest of the game. So I would say that one. I would say Slovakia.
So I think that is a good one. I don't see that happening. That's probably why it's a good one. Mine, I'm going to say Georgia over Spain. I'm just kidding. That's not happening. My actual choice, I'm going to go Romania upsetting Netherlands. If one's going to happen, I think that one's going to happen. Mainly because what I've seen from Romania defensively has been pretty solid, and Netherlands, outside of Gakpo scoring some freaking ridiculous shots, they haven't been that potent. And I feel like Romania could stick with them, and if they make it, towards the end of the game, it's 0-0 still. They can sneak one in and upset Netherlands. I might be sitting here with egg on my face once we're done with this round, but I just feel like if there was an upset, that's the one I would put money on.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
And we all have golden boot ending with Mikatse over in Georgia, our boy. So no need to talk about that. Anything else we need to talk about before we get out of here, Vic?
Yes, we owe one trip to Slovakia. We had a little playful banter that maybe got out of hand, and we talked a little too bad about Slovakia. It was Slovakia, right?
Yes, it was Slovakia.
And said that if Slovakia makes it out of this round to the round of 16, we'll go visit them because we were just talking shit about them. So.
Yeah. They weren't supposed to do it, first off.
Yes,
so in our defense, they weren't supposed to fucking make it out of the group. So
that group was
start there.
That group is just all, it doesn't make sense. So it's all tied and even. So
exactly.
So you might see the No Business Soccer podcast doing a away podcast somewhere in Slovakia. I don't know, maybe in a pub in Slovakia. Anything cool in Slovakia?
I'm looking up Slovakia. Like, who's the biggest clubs in Slovakia?
I don't know, because we were talking shit about how nothing really happens there.
Slovakian football clubs. Let's see, biggest.
Man, what's going on here? We got a producer for a reason, right? Shouldn't he be?
I know, right?
Us?
And I'm having to look it up. He should be telling me. I can't. So we'll have to figure it out. But we'll have to go and we'll have to pick out the best team in the Slovakian league and go check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, our mouths get us in trouble sometimes. We definitely said that we're going to Slovakia at some point if they got through, and we're men of our words. We're men of honor. So, okay. Well, and this is us keeping ourselves honest. So, kudos to us here. And I think that is about it for us. So, Vic, why don't you go ahead and take us home, bud?
Again, appreciate you guys watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. We do want to talk to you guys. Still haven't gotten a comment, but we're this close. I feel it. We're this close to getting a comment down there. So
someone just do it, please, for Victor.
Please, because I just did it myself, and I was talking shit to Daniel. Daniel didn't even understand. So, but yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you think the round of 16 is going to play out. Did the group stage turn out how you play out? Were we completely wrong about something? You want to call us out? Let us know. Be more than happy to talk to you guys. Probably. And just go listen to our stuff and follow us on Spotify. We have a Twitch. We have a Kick. Daniel doesn't even know what a Kick is.
We just made those up right now.
We have a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, everything at No Business Soccer Podcast, except on Twitter, it's at No Biz Soc Pod, or on X if you want to call it X. But that's all we have. Maybe coming to you guys live from Slovakia soon. We appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will catch you guys next time to talk about the round of 16. We'll see you.
Peace.